division at 8-1, followed by the Giants at 6-3. We're joined once again by Rob Parker. Rob, you have been a Cowboy hater and a doubter this
Thank
season.
you, Joy. Yeah.
What? Joy, I thought you were on my side.
I'm always on your side, but I have to be honest. You have been. I have to be honest. Who is the biggest threat to them in the East?
I'm going to say Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp, the New York Football Giants, and I'll give you my reasons. I think when you have a team, first of all, we know their defense was horrible last year, last place, and they moved up to like 15th. They've gotten better. But when you have a quarterback in Eli, who's not putting up any great numbers this year, but he has won 2 Super Bowls, and I've seen this guy be able to perform at that level. So to me, he could always catch fire or make the plays or make the throws that you need to make. And then you have Odell Beckham Jr., who's a big play receiver and can make things happen. Again, take a game that maybe you're losing and then at the last second, make a play and do that. So when you add all 3 of those things together, improving defense that's better, experienced veteran quarterback that's won 2 Super Bowls and went on the road to win both of them and won big games, and a big play receiver, I like the Giants out of all the other teams. I think they're the team that could beat Dallas or give them an issue as far as the East.
So I was hoping your answer would be there's no threat to my Cowboys because you have finally seen the light and bought completely into my Cowboys.
I don't know about all that, but I ate a lot of crow, and trust me, on Twitter, people got all Dallas Cowboy Nation.
They're on you?
They're on me big time. I ate crow.
Bengals Nation, are they on you?
After last night, my goodness, I watched that entire game. What a waste of time.
The biggest threat to the Cowboys in the East, Jerry Jones. Because he's really the only one that can upset
That is the right answer.
That is a good answer. I understand what you're saying.
But you know what? I'm going to take Washington because I at this present time, I believe I trust Cousins more than I trust Eli and Wentz.
He's no longer third cousins?
No, he's still third cousin.
Oh.
But he about to drop down. He's about to be off the list. But you look at the schedule; they don't have an easy schedule. They got 4 of the last 7 games on the road: at Dallas, at Arizona, at Philly, in consecutive in 3 weeks back to back. I just believe in him. I mean, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions over his last 7 games. He's the second least sacked quarterback in the NFL behind Oakland's Derek Carr. I like what I'm seeing. I think their offense behind the Cowboys has the most potential in that division. But because the Cowboys' offensive line and they can just control the ball with Ezekiel and Dak is not making mistakes, they only have really one big play receiver in Dez. But if you look at the Arizona's offense, the Washington offense, they're third in NFL yards per play. So they have big play capability. He's doing a great job of taking care of the football. They protect him. I think they pose a threat, but
that schedule, though, is daunting. You got to admit that.
But let's be real. Unless Jerry messes this up, nobody's catching the Cowboys.
Thank you very much. And I am going to be realistic here. And yet this is conditional on one huge condition, that Dak Prescott is the starting quarterback the rest of the way. Because I'm going to give you the final records of all 4 teams. My Cowboys, and I'm being completely objective and realistic here, are going to finish 13-3.
So they got 2 losses.
So I got 2 losses. I'm not going to tell you which 2 they are, but as you always say, well, just because you pick a team, you can't pick them to win every game. I would like to see them go 15-1, and Dak may have to go 15-1 to keep his job. But beside that, the realistic view of this, because they have 4 home games, Baltimore, Washington, the Buccaneers, and Lions. I think they can win those 4 home games, and then I'll leave the rest to your imagination. But I am with you, and I've said this from the start. The team that you picked to win this division, I do fear because of Eli Manning. There's good Eli, there's really bad Eli. But if you get good Eli on the right day, he can beat you. I don't know what you're going to get from him, and mostly it was good Eli at Jerry World on opening day, and the final score was 20-19, Eli over Dak. But it was Dak's first start as a raw rookie quarterback drafted in the 4th round.
Correct.
I got the Redskins going 9-6-1. And the Giants, I got 10-6. 10-6.
Yeah, that tie hurts.
Yeah, it does. 9-6-1, so just half game back. But that could keep you in contention for a wild card. And then I got the Eagles, who have the toughest schedule by far to me, at 9-7. And they got Carson Wentz, and Dak is better than Carson Wentz. And I told you that from the start. I don't trust Carson Wentz nearly as much as I do even Cousins or Eli.
He started so well though,
did.
and I saw him when he lost his first game in Detroit, and he had, he was
Played well
unfortunate.
until
He played well, and then all of a sudden, they had a fumble, and then the next play when they got the ball back, he threw a pick down the field, so they wound up losing the game. But I thought he was going to be better than
At this point.
Yeah,
He fell back to earth.
Right, he's
Dak
come back.
ascended.
Absolutely.
Oh, my.
That's what happened. Thank you.
This yoga here.
Are they going to win the
good.
Super Bowl with
Nailed
all the Cowboy talk? Can you step out here on the Super Bowl?
No, they're going to lose to Tom Brady. It's okay. There's no shame in that. There's no shame.
Tom Brady's
I've
winning the
summed it
Super
up
Bowl
for you.
again?
It's over. You don't even need to watch anymore. Tom Brady beats Dak Prescott in the Super Bowl.
You're still not voting to the Cowboys?
Seattle.
He's starting
Not
to
even a
bomb.
little bit.
No,
We got
a little
the
bit. I got to admit, a little bit. I can't when they beat the Steelers and
The Steelers defense.
I know.
I can catch like 5 passes right now on the
You
Steelers
might.
defense.
but still they came back twice in that game,
Yeah.
right, to win. That's when you start to look at.
Hey,
You look at
42 seconds left on the road at Pittsburgh.
You don't want to look at
Pretty
it.
great.
You still ain't going.
I don't wanna look
You
at
still
it.
haven't mentioned the Steelers defense.
no, I don't.
right?
I understand, but you still got to execute on the other side of the ball, right?
You don't.
You do,
As
even
bad
with
as that,
them there.
Half execution against that defense to get you.
That's fair.
And Rob, you shouldn't give completely up on your Bengals prediction. Bengals to the Super Bowl. They're 3-5-1, but who in that division is running away? Is Baltimore?
Nobody.
Pittsburgh? Nobody. So you still
But
got a
that's why
shot.
last night was a big game for them. I thought that the same thing when they had the standings. I looked and I said, they're still in this. And then what happened?
I still give them a shot to win this division.
You
I
know
do.
what? Baltimore, with all their injuries, is going to end up winning this division. With all the
By
injuries they have.
default?
Yep.
But they're about to lose a game this Sunday, so that'll be a setback to 5-5.
No big
You're
joke.
picking them?
What? Oh, wait a minute. Somebody jumped
You gonna
out on
do
the
it?
end of the limb already. I heard
We picked the game on Friday. I thought we picked games on Friday.
You gotta
It's
go.
Tuesday, and
Yeah,
you're making
get
picks.
out
I
there.
heard it,
Rob,
though.
thanks for
I
joining
heard
us.
it going there.
Coming up, will Derek Carr deliver a division title to Oakland this year? Colin Cowherd joins the debate next. Harden are all nearly averaging triple doubles. Westbrook, LeBron, Harden. So far this season, I'm sorry about that. So far this season, Westbrook leads the league with 3, and they're the only 3 players with triple doubles this season. We're joined by NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Chris, welcome.
Thank you.
Who has the best chance of averaging a triple double?
First of all, I don't think any of them will average a triple-double, but if I had to pick one, I would say Westbrook. And I'll say Harden will not get there. I think Harden's got a great chance to lead the league in scoring and assists. I don't think he'll get the rebounds. He's averaging 7.9.
Right.
In his first 7 seasons, he only averaged more than 5 once.
Yeah.
Last
I
year,
know.
averaged 6. So he's not doubling his career average.
Yeah.
Okay, he's out. LeBron at about 23 points, 9 assists,
9 rebounds.
almost 9 rebounds. We talked about it last week. The rebounds, Kevin Love is at 10. Tristan Thompson is at over 9. They're too good of rebounders on his team for him to get 10 a game.
Right.
If he set out to average a triple-double and just that was his goal, I think he could do it.
Right.
But it would literally ruin their team for him to go out and try to grab more than 10 rebounds a game because you would literally be taking rebounds from Love and Tristan. Even the assist, I think LeBron will be at 8 or 9 for the season. I don't think he handles it enough. As much as he handles it, he's a point forward, not a point guard. I don't think he has it enough, certainly not like Harden and Westbrook, to average 10. Westbrook, Steven Adams is at 8 rebounds a game. Enes Kanter only plays 19 minutes a game. He gets you 7. So there's no great rebounder in front of Westbrook he can get all the rebounds he wants. And they need him to do everything. So I think he's got a shot. The last 3 games, he's actually averaged a triple-double, like 32 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists. So I go with Westbrook.
I co-sign everything you said. I think LeBron won't, for the simple fact, although he does handle the ball 80% of the time, Kyrie handles it the other 20.
Yep.
So Kyrie will get some of the assists that LeBron would get if he dominated the ball the entirety of the time.
Like those two.
Yes,
They really.
and I agree. And for that reason, I'm going Westbrook also, because the only great rebounder is Steven Adams. The other guys, Sabonis, he's a young guy. He doesn't play enough minutes. Cantor doesn't play enough minutes. You need to play, to average double-digit rebounds, you probably need to average around 25, 30 minutes a game. To get those amount of rebounds. And James Harden, I believe James Harden, what he's doing, he makes it look easier than what Russell Westbrook does.
Yes,
He makes getting 30 points and 12 rebounds look. You look up, you like the dude got 23 points and 10 rebounds in the first quarter. You're like, how did that happen?
He's very smooth.
Rebounds or assists?
I mean,
from James
assists.
Harden?
Assists.
Yeah.
I'm saying, yeah, but he makes getting a double-double as easy as I've ever seen it. I mean,
I think he's the MVP right now. It's early out.
He makes scoring those points and assists easier than Magic Johnson. And Magic Johnson, I think, is the greatest assist man.
James has the ball in his hands like 90% of the time.
They
right?
didn't do that back then as much.
See, Magic was getting easy because he dumped it down to Kareem and Kareem throw the sky hook, or he hit Worthy on the fast break in the Statue of Liberty dunk. But I agree. I don't think any of these guys, because night in and night out, to be able to exert, because you got to exert a lot of energy, because a lot of those rebounds are loose balls.
Yeah.
So that means you're going to have to go extra hard to get that, and then at some point that will catch up with you. So I don't think any of them would do it. But if you hold my feet to the fire and said you got to pick one, I'll take Russell.
I predicted before the year started Russell would average a triple-double, and I'm going to stick with it because I've never seen anything like him. Energy-wise, I'm not sure his body can take the beating that it takes every night. He got 15 rebounds last night. I know they got blown out, but he got 15 rebounds, and a lot of them are sort of loose balls or just like 50-50 balls.
Right.
And he will just out-jump and out-scrap people who are bigger than him for these rebounds because he just wants the ball worse than the other guy does. And yet, you made the point last on the show. How can he average 10-plus rebounds a game? Because he's, what do we give him, 6'3"? Yeah. Like it's impossible, but he keeps doing it. And what's disappointed me so far is Steven Adams, and maybe you can explain this to me. I watch him a lot. I watched him last night. They got smoked in Detroit. But it was an odd team. No, remember, Oklahoma City was back-to-back. They were playing back-to-back on the road. But there was no Drummond and no Reggie Jackson, obviously, in Detroit. So it was a bad loss for Oklahoma City, and I didn't like that. They have some big wins because they won at the Clip. They're the only team now that have beaten the Clippers, right, so far?
Yep.
Okay, so something's wrong with Steven Adams to me. I can't figure out because his shooting percentage has dropped 10 points from last year. He's making 10% fewer of his shots, and it's hurting Russell's assists because what Russell got going with down the stretch last year was, I'm going to attack, I'm going to bring two to me, and I'm just going to leave it on the floor for Cantor or Adams just to basically dunk it And for some reason, Steven Adams isn't cashing enough of Russell's assists. And so Russell's stuck on 9 assists when I thought they'd be like 12 or 13 a game, which he was more capable of last year. And I don't know what's wrong with Steven Adams.
He had this guy, Kevin Durant, there, too.
Yeah.
Giving him 3 or 4 or 5 easy assists. I just think for Adams, it's, now more is expected. I mean, and not only was Westbrook creating shots for him last year, but so was Durant. And the attention that was
But didn't you think in the
Durant.
playoffs, Steven Adams arrived?
He did arrive, but he is what he is. Like when you start, it's like Jeremy Lin. Jeremy Lin's a nice little player. But when you start thinking he's at this level, that's when you get disappointed. Adams is really good, but he's not like an elite level. I don't believe he's an elite level center. I think he's showing that. I wanted to say this about the triple-double because Oscar Robertson, as we all know, the only player to ever do it, 1961-62. It's interesting. If you take his first 5 seasons as one season, that's 384 games, he averaged a triple-double. Because there were years we had like 9.9 assists, and then he'd have 11 assists another year. So overall, it averages a triple-double for 5 years. But this is why no player, I don't believe, will average a triple-double anytime soon. When Oscar averaged a triple-double, teams averaged 108 shots a game. Now they average 85. So that's 23 more shots for each. That's 46 more shots per game. And then they shot a lower percentage, 42% versus 45% now. So there were actually teams averaged 71 rebounds back then in 1960.
Why was that?
Because they shot so much and missed so much.
So it was just pure run and gun.
Yeah, it was pure up and down. So they averaged 71 rebounds per team. This year, they averaged 44. So that's 54 more rebounds available per game.
Yeah.
I mean, Robinson, the year he averaged triple-double, he was a third leading rebounder on his team.
Yeah.
So these guys are actually getting a higher percentage of their rebounds their teams
So
and
the
the games.
degree of difficulty now
Yeah,
is
it's much harder. Yeah,
than it
much
was
harder.
because I look at Oscar's numbers, or I look at Wilt's numbers, and I say,
Will
averaged-
averaged 26 rebounds that year.
Yeah, and he didn't win the MVP. Bill Russell won it.
Yeah,
That was
so-
the same year. Wilt went 50-25.
Well,
Oscar had a triple-double, and Bill Russell won the MVP.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say this: I do think LeBron's degree of difficulty is lower. Like he's just so much bigger than
Than the
Russell.
other two.
Yeah,
I
like and he's in such superb shape, and he is very durable. God bless him. And if he really put his mind to it, he doesn't need it, but I think he's capable of doing this. But it would be at the expense of I don't know, Kevin Love's rebounds or whatever, or Kyrie's assists.
It would mess up chemistry too.
Maybe a little bit,
Don't you think?
but he's close now. I mean, he just sort of
He's
he's just
never been
rolling out
able
of
to-
bed and he's real close, right?
It's interesting. He's never gotten over that hump of double-figure rebounds or points. You know, he's always been
Or
around
assists,
8
you mean.
and 7. Yeah, or assists.
I think if J.R. Smith needs, because he's feeding J.R. on a lot of threes and J.R. hasn't found his rhythm yet. I think once J.R. starts shooting better from the three, I don't think he can get a triple-double, but I think he can average around 23 and 10 assists.
Yeah, I think he could.
And with that, he'll win the MVP because these other teams, harden them, they won't win enough games. They won't win enough games to overtake
If they win, I think they have to win at least 50.
Yes.
And I think at the end of the year, LeBron will end up being the Cavs' leading scorer too. He's 1 point behind Kyrie.
yeah.
I think LeBron will slowly raise.
So he
his
doesn't
average.
care about
No, I was
scoring.
just gonna-
though.
you took
It's
the
not-
words
that's
out
not
of
his
my mouth.
I don't think
priority.
he gets you 25 without even trying.
I mean, the man averages.
She's listening to Skip too much. They must go out to
I
lunch
am
every
just
day after
repeating
the show.
what
We've
LeBron
never gone
James
out to
said.
Chris.
I'm just repeating what he said.
Chris, that's why we call her Miss Petty. She petty like that.
I'm only repeating
little
what LeBron James
jabs, little
said.
You know
passive
what?
aggressive.
I keep
she's
it
the
real.
only smart one on this show.
Possible.
You done rubbed off on the Skip. You
Great
petty.
stuff, Chris.
Definitely.
Thanks for joining us. Coming up, who's the biggest threat to the Cowboys in the NFC East? Rob Parker is back to debate that next.